There is a document your club has almost certainly signed. It describes, in precise legal language, how a third party gets paid every time your player runs onto that pitch. Your manager probably never read it. You definitely weren't supposed to know it existed. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the people running football have spent 30 years making sure you never asked about it. Transfer Deadline Day, one of football's great theatrical events. Fans refreshing Twitter, journalists standing outside training grounds in the rain. A player waves from an SUV. A deal is done. Everyone celebrates. Here's what that scene actually looks like from inside. Weeks before deadline day, an agent calls the club's director of football, not the manager, the director. The agent represents both the selling club's interests and the buying player. But here's what the Federation never wanted you to know. In many of these deals, that same agent is also on a separate contract, paid by the buying club while officially representing the player. 3 paydays. 1 negotiation. Total legal. It is, to put it gently, not the most straightforward conflict of interest arrangement in commercial history. In the 2022-23 Premier League season alone, agents received over £350 million in fees, more than the GDP of several small nations. There are roughly 15 men who, between them, effectively control the movement of elite football talent on this planet. Not coaches, not presidents, agents. They hold multi-year contracts with players signed when those players were teenagers. In some cases, 14 years old. Just when it seemed buried for good, in 2015, a hacker collective delivered 70 million internal documents to a network of European journalists. They called it Football Leaks. What was inside changed everything. The agent shall receive payment regardless of whether the player appears, trains, or remains registered with the club. Read that again. Regardless of whether the player ever kicks a ball. Football Leaks exposed secret side contracts, hidden image rights agreements, and players registered under shell companies so agent fees could be routed offshore before any tax authority could see them. The Federation's official response was, let's say, measured. It only took them 3 years to acknowledge the documents were real. Here is the part of this story that doesn't make the back pages. Every year, hundreds of teenage boys, primarily from West Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia, are recruited by intermediaries with one promise. We will make you a professional footballer in Europe. Most people remember it wrong. Here's what actually happened. Some arrive with legitimate trials. Some arrive with forged documents. In documented cases investigated by the UN and Interpol, some arrive with falsified birth certificates making a 17-year-old appear to be 14 to exploit youth registration rules. UEFA's own investigation estimated that hundreds of minors are abandoned annually in Europe after failed trials, left without return flights, documentation, or club support. Left in a foreign country, with nothing, no flight home, no money, no club. And the intermediary who brought them? Already back home, already recruiting the next boy. This is not a rumor. This is documented, and football's governing bodies have known about it for over a decade. But here's the part that changes everything. Among the Football Leaks documents were internal emails from clubs, not agents, clubs. Emails discussing how to structure deals. So agent fees appeared as image rights payments, technically legal, ethically catastrophic, and invisible to financial fair play auditors. Similar dual contract practices were at the center of Juventus's financial fraud investigation in 2022, where hundreds of millions in hidden payments led to major sporting penalties. This was not one rogue agent. Not one corrupt director. It was systemic. Multiple top clubs across major leagues had signed documents that, if made public, would have ended careers. Most of those executives still work in football today. Fans found out from media reports before most club boards officially acknowledged the leaks, which tells you everything about transparency in the modern game. None of this means the game is beyond saving. Football at its core, 11 players, 1 ball, 90 minutes, that part is still real. But the machine built around it has, in many places, stopped serving the fans and the players it claims to protect. The real story gets even darker, but also tells us exactly where to look. The clubs that have resisted this, that publish agent fee breakdowns, run transparent academy systems, and cap intermediary payments, do exist. Some of them are winning titles. Ownership matters, transparency matters. And now you know what to ask for. Now you understand what that signed document really means. It means there's a version of football happening in the boardroom, and a different one on the pitch. The question was never whether the dark side existed. The question is whether enough people are watching it closely enough to matter. Because what happened when one club tried to go fully transparent and who tried to stop them is a story that makes this look simple.